Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Milind. So today we have a very special guest, Dr. Vinod, who is my colleague from AIIMS Bhopal, MD Radio Diagnosis. Also
Hello.
rank 8 in AIIMS All India examination, rank 60 in JIPMER, and rank 1030 that year in NEET entrance examination. So with such an amazing rank, Dr. Vinod has achieved like excellent ranks in all the examinations. So hello, Dr. Vinod. I welcome you to this interview
Hello,
session.
Milind. Yeah. Hello, everyone.
So the reason we are doing a few multiple interviews with Dr. Vinod, where we'll be discussing different aspects and different questions that a PG aspirant is facing on a daily basis. So our today's interview is mainly about last 2 months. Like there are 2 months, around 2 months to go for NEET PG 2022, and 4 or 5 months for AIIMS INI. So we will talk with Dr. Vinod about mainly about revision today. So thank you, Dr. Vinod, for joining us today. So we will start
Thank you.
our question series. Vinod, please tell us about revisions. That a lot of students are stuck, like how to start revision and how to do revision in such a short time. How was your strategy of revising things?
Yeah, revision is one of the most important things when it comes to entrance exam, because not just the concepts, not just the subjects. You have to not just studying the subjects. You have to be able to recall all those things within a short span of time. Like within 1 minute, you should be able to understand the question and you should be able to answer. So for that speed and for that accuracy and to minimize mistakes and to reduce the confusion, you will have four options which are very close and which will be very confusing. So to reduce that confusion and to increase the accuracy and to reduce mistakes, you need to have very good revision. Like you should give very good time for revision. So ideally, three revisions is must. It depends on each individual. Some will be okay with just two revisions, and some will
Yes,
need
very
four
true.
to five revisions.
True.
Yeah, it differs from person to person. So ideally, three revisions are must. Three revisions is must.
Mhm.
So
It
uh,
also
uh,
depends on the time you have, right?
yes,
Like,
yes, yes,
uh,
yes. It also depends on the time we have. So ideally, all if we want to finish all 19 subjects, it takes around 40 to 45 days for first revision.
yes.
So major subjects will take 4 days or 3 to 4 days.
Hmm.
Some subjects like medicine will take 5 days, and minor subjects will take 1 or 2 days. So all those 90 subjects we can finish ideally in 40 to 45 days. So it should not take too long also, because that will, like, if you take 2 months for just one revision, again it will be like you'll be wasting a lot of time,
So what is
and
your
it will be like
ideal days? Like how do you divide days for first, second revision?
yes, for first revision ideally 45 days you should spare 45
Hmm.
days, and for second revision you should have 30 days, and for third revision 20 to 25 days is
Yes. So
enough.
it depends on
Yeah.
your speed also, like how much you can adjust, like
It depends on each
plus
individual
minus
speed.
5 days.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah. So for first revision, for short subjects, you will take 1 or 2 days, and as it comes to third revision, you will take half a day. So that is how you should
Yeah, it
progress,
goes.
and that is how we should go on. For in last revision, each minus you are supposed to finish two minor subjects in 1 day. So that is how
It
your
should be
approach
like that.
should be. Yeah.
What was your source of, I mean, during your revision, what was your main source? Was it like books or notes or something else? Or you were like solely dependent on notes during that period?
Actually, yeah. And, depending on the this thing, like if we see the vastness of the this thing subjects and the
Subject, yes.
topics we have to remember, ideally notes are advisable during revision. Only the notes. You should not read. You should never read new subjects, new books during
Very true,
revision.
very true.
It will just create panic, It'll just create tension, and you will think that I don't know this. Maybe I should concentrate on this, and it'll just deviate you from the path, from the main goal. So you should never read new topics, whatever it is. Even if you have not touched that, you should just leave it, and you should just concentrate on what you know.
What
You
you
should
know.
be confident on what you know, and you should build your this thing. You should build your knowledge, and you should build your concepts on the things which you already know.
Already know.
Because
Yes.
the last 2 months you should just brush up on the things you already know. So whatever you have read, whatever you know, whatever notes you have made, you are supposed to go through those notes only. So if you go through those notes, it is well and good. It is more than enough. And you should divide the time. Suppose if you are reading for 12 hours, for 8 to 10 hours you have to read the theory from notes. You have to try to finish the topic subjects, and the last 2 hours of that day, you should solve the subject wise questions of that
Yes.
subject. If you have not gone through the last 5 years MCQs of that
Mhm.
subject, you must go through those 5 years
5 years
questions.
PYQs. Yes.
If you already know, if you think you already know the last 5 years questions
Mhm.
of that subject, you can solve any random question
Subject
paper,
wise
subject
also.
wise question.
So that is actually what most of us have been emphasizing upon and telling students again and again, the importance of PYQs. I mean, students, they just stick to their notes and they are going to subject wise, and subject wise tests are so vast. But instead of that, if they also like do the PYQs first, so that will take care of the
Hmm.
questions that are easy and again asked. So that will, the
Yes, yes.
mistakes of doing that will be minimized.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree that subject wise tests are too vast. And for that only, like many online platforms, many online study platforms, and they will have 30 questions, and
Yeah, the
they will
small
have a
modules.
pack of 30 questions, 40 questions, 50 questions, just the 30 questions. If you have a short subject, solve just the 30 questions. They will it will include questions from all the chapters.
All the chapters.
So hmm, just to brush up things,
Yes.
you should solve those things, and you should solve every day. In those last 2 months, you should solve every day at least 20 to 30 questions every day. You should have to solve, so that will improve your speed, and that will reduce the errors, that will improve your
After an
accuracy,
exam.
and that will reduce your confusion.
Okay. Now, I'll ask you a question that is very dear to all the PG aspirants. Like they keep asking this question again and again about the grant test. Like how many grant tests to give, how to analyze the grant test, and how much time they should spend on the grant test, and how frequently they should give. What is your opinion?
Yes. Yeah, grant tests are equally important. During first revision, ideally we have to give grant tests every month, once in every month.
Yeah, once in a
At the
month.
end of every
Yeah.
month, yeah, once in a month, it is good to give. And during revision, once in 15 days is fine.
Mhm.
And we should not go too much into those things. Like if you solve every week or every 5 days once, like it will be time consuming. It will consume a lot of time, because solving the grant test itself will take 3 hours, and analyzing the mistakes and analyzing the
Oh.
questions, it will take one day at least. Like for some people it will take one day. So for that thing, what you can do is you have to solve grant test every 15 days in during revision time. uh, at that time, after solving, you should go through the questions which you have done wrong. So whatever you have made right, whatever questions you have got right, no need to go in depth for those questions, in those questions, because you will obviously get them right during main tests also. So whichever questions you have done wrong, like whichever concepts you have got wrong, those you should stress on those concepts, and you should try to improvise on those concepts. Okay.
Okay.
So
Got
that
it.
is the thing. And
Mhm.
there are many memory based questions which you are supposed to mug up, and which you are supposed to uh, keep in
Yeah,
mind, and you
that
just
was
have
my
to by
just
heart. You
next
just
question. So you can just combine with that. How did you remember this volatile stuff? Like apart from
there
that,
is
you
a
are blessed that you have an excellent. I think you are one of the talented, brightest brains of India. But how did you remember this volatile stuff?
there is a big chunk of matter which we are
Yes,
supposed to which we are supposed to mug up during entrance exams, like especially when it comes to subjects like biochemistry
true.
and anatomy and pharmacology, all those like big set of things we have to remember. And for those things, we have to put extra efforts. We have to put special efforts for those things. Whenever you feel like it is just plain mug up and we have to just by heart it, there is no concept, and you have to get it right. So for those things, one thing is you can discuss it with your friends,
Mm.
and you can discuss it with your colleagues or whichever whoever you are comfortable with, and you can keep discussing it on and on, again and again, and you have to make a good, very good mnemonic. You can even discuss mnemonics with your friends, so whichever is best and whichever is
Yeah,
easiest,
the
you can
bad and the
keep
naughty
it in
mnemonics we remember the most.
yeah, sometimes only mnemonics we'll remember
Yeah,
and not the
true.
not the actual matter. So we should try to make good mnemonics and we should remember those mnemonics. And charts, we have to put up charts in our rooms and all, so that whenever we are free we can just go through them.
Yeah, that's
And
also like,
visual memory, yeah, and visual memory is also a thing. It's also very important. And whenever you are asked about a vitamin or whenever you are asked about an enzyme, you will like you will remember that page, you'll remember that image,
true,
you'll remember
very
that
true.
chat. So that is also important. Whatever the way is, you ultimately you have to you have to stress
Exactly.
that.
Actually,
You
that's
have
what
to make sure
I
that
think most of the toppers, they what exactly echoing your words. We always talk about making charts and doing any mnemonics that do anything that will make you remember stuff, right? Because
yes,
this is highly competitive exam, so you have to just do better than others
you have to get it right. For that, you
at
have to
any cost.
stress and
True.
yeah, at any cost, you have to get it right. So whichever way you feel right, you can do it. Whichever way is good, whichever way is easy for you can follow that.
Yeah. So my next question is a bit on the emotional side. That lot of PG students, they go through a lot of stress. You are rank 8, like the day
Yes, yeah.
you saw your rank, we know like the world celebrated you. I just wanted to know that whether you doubted yourself, because a lot of PG aspirants there, they always think that they might not be able to do it, and they're doubting themselves on every step, insecurities. Did you feel that, or you were like always sure that you will get the seat?
No, like uh, I like every other student. I also used to have all kind of insecurities, all kind of stresses, and even I used to get like tensed a lot. So for that, I had applied for all kind of government jobs, and to just to make myself just to make myself calm down. So that is there. But ultimately, our aim is to do better and better. Yeah. So for those things, it should help you do more. All those insecurities, all those stress and tension should make you do more and work more, and it should not restrict you. It should not restrict your efforts, and it should not get this thing like overruled by them. So for those things, what you can do is you should just keep a positive mindset, and you have to work continuously. And if you make excuses and if you if you don't put 100% effort, then obviously you'll be in doubt. So for that, what you can do is to study continuously, study with 100% effort, and you should be true to yourself. So that will create a good amount, good, like, that will give you a lot of confidence, that
Yes.
will give you a lot of good vibes. So, and the next thing is, you should talk to your friends, you should talk to your parents, you should talk to your relatives, whoever you are close with, and you should be in constant touch with them. So that also keeps you motivated, and you should always try to do better and better in class tests and grand tests. With obviously your rank will go on improving, your graph will have an upslope. When you are studying continuously, your graph will have an upslope from a rank of 30K to 20K to 10K to 5K. So that is how your graph will go when you are putting continuous efforts.
Effort.
So that will obviously keep you motivated.
Also, one question I missed in between about image-based questions, like how should you tackle those image? Because now the pattern of exam have changed. Like questions are mainly image-based. So how do you advise like during revision? Because attending some like specially, did you give any time? Like, did you spare any time specially for image-based questions?
In our coaching institute, we had a class of two or
Mhm.
3 days for especially image based questions. That was good, but obviously we can't spend a lot of time in image based questions, because obviously we don't have like, it is so, the subjects are so vast. We can't just give separate time for those things, and we don't have to give separate time for those things. Obviously, when we are going through anatomy or biochemistry or radiology or dermatology, obviously we will come through image based questions, which are very important. And whenever you are solving entrance books, they will have a very good set of image based questions. And whenever your concepts are good, no matter images doesn't matter. Okay,
True.
even if you are seeing an image for the first time on that day, you will be able to solve it
Solid.
if your concepts are good.
Yes. Yeah, that is actually what I also have been saying, and a lot of toppers say that whenever you are reading theory, see the same particular images on Google, just save it instead of going for the specially image-based thing, because it will take a lot of
Yes,
time and it creates confusion.
yes, yes,
Seeing thousand images at the same time will create a lot of confusion in your mind.
yes, yes.
So I have,
Especially pathology,
yes,
histopathology
true, very true.
kind of questions. Whenever you have doubt, just Google it and just take a screenshot of it.
Mm.
So that will be of use.
Good. So, Dr. Vinod, I have a very last special question for you. Last few months have been very difficult for all NEET PG aspirants because there was confusion about NEET PG counseling and then exam date when will happen. So, a lot of students were not able to focus on studies and they were not able to study properly. So, if it
Yes.
was you, like, let me tell you, if it was you, like, you were in this situation, suppose, like, after NEET PG 2021 results came out, INA result came out, a lot of students started studying in November. They started their first reading or first kind of revision in November, and now they are left with 50 plus, some 50 plus days. So, what would have
Yes,
been
yes.
your strategy if you were at their place? That what you would like to advise them? That how would you would have used these remaining days to get the maximum
Yeah.
output?
Yes, for all those NEET PG aspirants, this came out as a surprise that you, until recently they were not ready to start
In
the
the
counseling,
counseling.
and all of a sudden they started another exam. They came up with another exam. So if I was in this place, I would be obviously be very tensed, and obviously, because everyone is at the same place,
True,
so you
true.
should not lose hope. Yeah, everyone is at the same place, and so you should not lose hope. If you have 50 days, so you should make a good this thing. You should make a good timetable from of that 15 days, 50 days. So ideally, two revisions can be done in those 50 days. So I would go with two revisions of 40 days, and remaining or 30 days
35
and
plus or 15,
20
yeah,
days.
that will also go.
30 plus 20.
30 plus 20,
So
yeah.
we can do revision like that. So within stipulated time, we should try to finish
Give
the
the best.
revision. So that is the thing.
Yes, instead of
So
going,
whatever it
yes,
is, yeah,
instead of going
whatever it
rapidly,
is.
you can just take the, you can make the best out of the situation, right?
Yes,
Because
yes, yes,
everybody else, what I say that, in PG exam is like you don't have to be the best. You just have to be
mm,
better than other people. And what these
yes, yes,
other people right now is everybody is under stress. So if you keep
yes,
your calm and if you stay positive, definitely you can get the best rank.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you should be confident about yourselves, and you should concentrate on only the positive aspect of it, and you should not get you should not underestimate yourselves, and you should not underestimate others also. So that is how you have to go.
Also, one last question that you are from Karnataka and you have done your UG also from Karnataka. So how a boy from Karnataka like who dreamed to study into institutions, because there are a lot of students who think that central institute exams are very tough and they are not easy to crack. and mainly like people who studied in AIIMS or they already did their UG, they have higher chances of doing it. So
Yes.
what do you want to tell them? Like, like you scored even the best rank in like AIIMS, you were rank 8, PGI, you were rank 60. So how did you do it? Like, you got best rank in Central Institute. So just give them a message.
Yeah. Yeah. Or yeah. It is like obviously it's a dream of any medical or any MBBS graduate to study in central institutes like AIIMS or PGI, and almost each and every MBBS student will dream of getting a good rank in central institutes. So it's not at all an easy job. Getting a good rank in any entrance exam itself is not an easy job, and
True.
on top of that, getting a rank in central institute is not at all a easy job. You should have a dedication for more than like in your UG days. Also you should have a
You should
vision.
be
You
serious.
should
Yeah.
have some amount of idea of what is like how to approach for entrance exams.
True.
So during internship and like some of our seniors had cracked entrance exams, central institute entrance exams, and I got motivated from those things. And I was like I had I developed interest during my internship, like because my seniors did that, and like even I have to try, and I should
True.
try to do well. So that is how I developed interest in them. So during internship I started studying for entrance. Wherever I was posted, like wherever
Hmm.
whichever department I was posted in, I used to study those things, and I used to solve those MCQs.
Hmm.
Obviously, like uh, we couldn't cover everything, and I couldn't revise anything.
Hmm.
So that is different. But at least you have to start somewhere. So you like you have to start early, and you will have the advantage.
Advantage. True. Uh, that's it. I think. Thank you, Dr. Vinod, for sparing your time
Thank you.
and giving us such a valuable input. And I am sure that all the PG aspirants for appearing for NEET PG 2022 will be benefited from this video. So thank you so much for joining us. Okay, guys. Uh, so we had a pleasure talking to Dr. Vinod, who had given us. So again, I just want to summarize this video. So what is our take-home message here? Is we have to just stick to your notes in your revision. Whatever time you have to do the best in the remaining time. And definitely, I'm sure you can achieve your dreams. So guys, I wish you all the best. Take care. And I wish you all the best.